So, I actually need to go. I need to go grab the music. I didn't grab the music. Oh no! Oh no!
Wait, are you recording now?
Yeah, I forgot to
Banana
grab.
bomb.
I forgot to grab the music. Da, 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 that play. There we go. Should be playing now. Good. Anyway. Oh, hang on. Did it end up? No, I don't know what it just... Oh well. Whatever, I'll figure out what it just did in a moment after we're done. But first we have Studio Series Apling? However you pronounce it, it's spelled weird. Hang on, let me... Let me find how to spell it and send it, because this thing, it's spelled really weird.
Ape Link.
That could be. But yeah.
Because it's like the missing link. You know.
Ah!
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't figure that one out.
I did not, no. But yeah. Unfortunately, he's not going to be any bigger than Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal. Because they're having to use the same mold.
It would have been interesting to see him on like all fours in his beast mode.
That would be. It would also... So I think he has a slightly different torso, a different beast head, and then different shoulders, as well as the arm blade stuff. But he really doesn't look that different from Primal.
No.
Which I kind of get, since they were trying to go somewhat for realistic beasts. And you can't really have his original red color scheme with the gorilla.
No, you really can't.
But yeah, they probably could have broken up the colors a bit more. Because it does look really similar.
Yeah.
Then we have, I believe this should be Bone Crusher. It is Bone Crusher.
More like a McDonald's toy of Bone Crusher.
I have to assume that at least to some degree, these proportions have to deal with being Combiner.
I understand that.
Yeah, I would have to assume that, because yeah, that has to happen occasionally with combiners. Yeah. Admittedly, this does just kind of look like a rectangle that they just added a bit of greebling to.
Exactly.
Yeah. He has kind of odd hands. It is unfortunate that he doesn't really have much Constructicon purple there, but I'm going to assume that's just in general his design didn't have much of that purple in there.
Yes, but like...
Yeah, it definitely is something where he probably could have benefited from a bit more purple to break him up from being green. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, maybe if like, this section, or, like, the treads were purple, he would have a bit more color breakup, but as it is, just green.
Yeah, it's just like all green.
Yeah, like, I think what would have worked good is if the treads were purple. Because then, even though the whole torso and arms and the top of the vehicle would all be green still, you'd have at least the legs and the treads be purple. And you have more than just this and a little bit on the hands, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we have Studio Series Bumblebee.
I still haven't watched that yet.
Well, from what I understand, they took their original version of the Volkswagen Bug mold from that film, and pretty much kept some parts of it, but rebuilt a lot of it from scratch. I think
about it. In Rise of the Beast, we hardly got to see like much of Bumblebee. Did he have like a Volkswagen vehicle mode or?
He had a Camaro.
Okay.
Yeah, and then he had an off-road Camaro at the end. But yeah, so from what I understand, a lot of these vehicle mode parts, they kept a lot of those. But a lot of the robot parts were changed. They also made it, even though they didn't show it with these pictures, they made the door wings able to swing down. Because in that film, when the Volkswagen Bug, he doesn't have door wings. That was something from the concept art.
Oh.
So now you can swivel them down to at least kind of get them to disappear. I mean, you'd still see them, but at least they're not as prominent. And it is now up to, I guess, whoever's discretion it is, if you want them up or down. I do see that they had to change something here. So now that is a solid plastic part of the car, and that's a painted window.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how much of the arms and legs they stole from the Jeep Bumblebee figure that they made. Because he does briefly in that film take on a Jeep mode.
Oh, okay.
So I wonder how much they stole of that, at least in terms of getting, like, the surface detailing right. There. Then we have Retro Bumblebee.
He's using his vehicle's ass for a sheet.
Yeah, it uses the Netflix Bumblebee mold that was in the War for Cybertron line. I don't know why they were obsessed with having characters hold it like a shield. You can peg it onto the back. You can peg it onto the back and make it a backpack. He doesn't need it as a shield.
Like, ass, protect me.
Yeah, I don't think you can transform it without taking that off, but like I said, you can just plug it into the back. He doesn't need to hold it like a shield.
And an assistant shield.
Oh yeah, we get to see they did tell us kind of a plan for when they want to get all of these guys out. So we do know what all of them are. And here we can see the show model. So yeah, yeah, whoever designed the show model for him really didn't give him much purple at all.
No. I had more purple in the show, though.
It looks like Long Haul doesn't really have much either.
Oh yeah.
At least he has this dark gray to break it up, though.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we have the two deluxes, which become, I believe, parts of the arms. You have these two Voyagers, which are still the same, about as tall, but they have the engineering to be the legs and feet. And then you have these two that become the torso and head, if I recall. As well as maybe the thighs. And then come with whatever other parts need to be added to make the fully combined Devastator. But yeah. Then we have Rise of the Beasts Double Punch.
Double punch it. Not
Scorponok, this is a recolor of their Rise of the Beasts Scorponok mold. That was one of the ones that had shown up when you hadn't watched the film yet, so I ended up holding it off to the back afterwards and gave my thoughts on it alone because I was like, is this spoilers? I don't think it's spoilers because he's never referred to really by name. He's just kind of a generic guy in that film.
Yeah, and I just assumed that it was just a Scorponok.
Yeah.
Like another Scorponok variant, because apparently he's used as like, yeah, I guess you can say a grunt in the film, and he was also used as like wait a minute, not a grunt, a drone.
Yeah. I think it's partly that because in concept art there were supposed to be 3 different colorations. In the film itself, we got one coloration that wasn't any of them. It was, I think, mostly this one with some blue on it. The Scorponok figure is purple, so I guess it was technically... So, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a Transformer Red Scorpion.
Yeah, so Double Punch is a character that did exist before. So I will note that's where they're getting the name from.
When did he exist?
So Double Punch originally existed as a European-only action master of one of the few that could actually transform. But the one that they are likely specifically mentioning is he had a Beast Wars toy. And he used Scorponok's mold.
Interesting.
At some point, they're also likely to do a Sandstorm, and there was, similarly, a tan version of the Scorponok mold that was Sandstorm. So that's where those likely come from. But yeah, so I assume what Double Punch was a reference, the original naming idea was a reference to, was like the 2 big claws being boxing gloves. That's my assumption as to why they decided to use the Scorponok mold with him during Beast Wars. Then we have Studio Series Galvatron. It is the Kingdom Legacy mold in new colors, and a solid colored cannon instead of a transparent one.
About damn time. Got sick of seeing that. Now I'm sick of seeing this. I don't like the color scheme.
Yeah. Yeah, I think technically this is more accurate to the colors he had in the film. But having a solid color cannon is more accurate. I don't know what your thoughts on what the Legacy color scheme, the Legacy Kingdom color scheme was, because it was the same minus some battle damage paint.
I don't remember.
Yeah, because theoretically what you could do, if this shelf warms as much as Legacy Galvatron was doing, you could maybe find both of them cheap and take the Legacy one and put the Studio Series cannon on that one. In theory, at least.
Theory, if I want to actually buy these things.
That's true. Then we have whatever the hell this thing's name was.
Is this one of the spitters from Beast Wars?
This is, well, that seems to be what the mold is a pre-tool for, but it's from the Naruto crossover, and I have no clue what character it's referencing, because I don't watch anime.
What about Danganronpa?
Literally, Danganronpa and the Transformers ones are the two exceptions to that I haven't watched any anime. I guess technically you could say Pokemon as well, but that's still not changing much.
Don't you also watch Persona?
No, I actually haven't at all.
Right. No, that's a story about someone else.
Yeah, no, actually, I know absolutely nothing about that. The only thing I know about it is the meme from Smash Bros. Of, for his neutral special, Joker wields a gun. That, and I think at one point I had actually ended, while he was brand new as a character, I had taken Kirby into battle against him and almost won when he was in effectively his most broken. Now, mind you, this was a very enclosed stage, but still. But yeah, this guy, I'm going to attempt to pronounce the name. Gamakichi or something like that.
Can you type it in chat?
I did send you it.
Well, I can't tell what, like, whenever I'm in full screen, I can't tell what's being, if it's sent this or not.
Okay.
Like, I'm not given a notification.
Okay. But yeah.
Which is why I often exit from full screen repeatedly during these things.
But yeah, I definitely, if they don't make Spidor or Diver out of this, why?
just why?
Yeah, because
Tell me why.
Because especially considering...
Sorry.
But yeah, especially considering this piece here seems to not be built into the figure itself. It doesn't look like it's in the mouth there in robot mode. So it seems like that's an accessory. Aside from changing the head and maybe the weapon, there is no reason that this isn't Spidor or Diver. It's not like there's something that would make it a hassle to turn it into either of them.
No.
Especially when, in this day and age, most Transformers have alternate head sculpts built into the mold. So there should be no reason we don't see Spitter or Diver soon. I would find it funny if at some point some person who knows Naruto shows up to the video and is like, why didn't you talk about all the cool references they made?
Because I don't know the damn references.
Yeah. Like I said, I have very limited understanding of anime. Then let's see. Next up, we have Retro Gears.
Where's his face?
The original Gears figure did not have a face. That's where it is.
0 out of 10.
0.
Just because he doesn't have a face. 0 out of 10.
He gets a new battle mask. No, how dare! He needs his face!
That's how I rate stuff. It's like, if it doesn't have something that I want, it's bad. 0 out of 10.
I saw a number of people mentioning that they had put the M here. I'm not certain exactly what that's referencing outside of, I guess it was on the original figure.
Maybe it's like a brand in the show. Like a company brand.
Maybe. It could also be something that was a holdover from when they had ended up importing in the figures originally. When they were licensing molds instead of making them. Yeah. Then we have Hatchet. Finally, they complete the dreads even though one is not correct.
He looks like a snapping turtle.
He kinda does. I think technically you might be able to pull this off the back and then he would look right, but it is a physical thing. You can't just make the vehicle disappear. So as a toy, it kind of just all gathered up there, and now it looks like he has a shell.
Yeah, even his mouth looks like a snapping turtle beak.
Kind of, yeah. But yeah, I have no clue why it took them so long to finish the dreads.
You would think it would be the easiest thing to do, and that it would be done like almost in like how long did it take them to make this?
Well, the original Crowbar showed up in I think like the first year they did Studio Series, so like sometime in 2018.
6 years.
Apparently.
Yeah, as I was saying, you would think this would have taken like a few weeks or months or something.
Possibly. The one thing I will note is, so I unfortunately have not had any version of the mold on hand because I think this is a heavy retooling of that mold. And I don't know how well, if you end up moving the limbs about, it gets into this position. I'll try and figure that out whenever I get one that isn't outside of, you know, Hatchet, who's literally been designed to do it. But yeah. Now if they could only actually make Crankcase look like Crankcase. And not just Crowbar with gold hair.
Yeah, if only it. only.
Yeah. I forget, what did we nickname that inaccurate crankcase?
Didn't we nickname it as Goldilocks?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, and it's such a weird choice that they had done that as well, because all of the Studio Series dreads are retools of Berserker. The Last Night Berserker mold. And Berserker used Crankcase as his CGI basis. So they have the right head and torso right there. Maybe give it a little bit more detail. Instead, they chose to just recolor Crowbar.
That seems very logical.
Yeah, you can see why I'm a bit of a stickler on. It makes no sense why they didn't have Crankcase look right. Because in this case, there is none. Except, I guess, either laziness or they ended up directly changing the mold or something.
I kind of want to believe the first one, in all honesty.
Laziness?
Yes.
Yeah. And at least if I eventually track all of them down, I get to have at least one extra dread that can end up being cannon fodder.
That's true.
Especially
So
when they're supposed to be generics. So that works out. It just sucks that they got it wrong the first place. I wouldn't mind them starting to expand out as like a spin-off toy line where they ended up making like new characters based on the Studio Series molds for like the live action films. That could be neat.
It would.
But and I know a spin-off for it because they can't really be Studio Series if they aren't from the film.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, do like that, and that could be interesting. That could be fun. We could get our proper Bay Thundercracker and Skywarp. Because I forget if I ever showed you what they did to Thundercracker for Studio Series. You know the Nitro Zeus mold?
Yeah.
They used that mold as the basis of quote-unquote Dark of the Moon Thundercracker.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea with that was. Because, especially when the Dark of the Moon toy line had Thundercracker. They also had Skywarp. And they were both recolors of Starscream. So I have no clue where they ended up getting the idea of, hey, let's use Nitro Zeus for that. Yeah. There. Then we have the War for Cybertron game, Ironhide. Excuse this person's head. I looked and was not having much luck finding a nice clear picture of it that didn't have this person's head stuck in it.
Couldn't have found the time to like edit it out.
Oh, I did attempt to edit it out some. Here's what I will note. Look down here. It's covering part of the foot.
Who cares? It's just a foot. Like, it looks exactly the same as the other one that isn't covered.
That's true, but then when I ask you, would you want a big white blob on that side?
better than seeing someone's hair in the way.
Eh.
Are you gonna give him like a steel wool bath or something?
Well, he does have an iron hide. Anyway. Yeah. Moving along, considering, admittedly, while the War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron games were fun, I didn't have much to say on most of their character models. We have a re-release of Studio Series Jazz.
Nothing much to say about this.
Yeah, he was one of these Space Bridge-like reveals. It's just that since he's already out, I can literally just grab his I can literally just grab his image of product photography and stock photography. This will be nice because I did miss out on Generation 1 Jazz originally. I would still be missing 07 Jazz, but maybe he'll get re-released soon. Ah yes, the other member of the crossover. Let me go find his name, because I do not. Okay, sending you that name. Looks like maybe Kurama.
Yeah, Kurama.
Yeah. I can tell you this is the Kingdom Cheetor mold.
Yeah, because when I first saw it, I thought it was another Cheetor figure being released, but then I saw like the 9 tails in the background. I was like, oh wait, it's this thing again.
Yeah. Yeah. The only really thing that I know about 9 Tails is 9 Tails from Pokemon. The Pokemon. But again, I don't really have much to say on this because I don't know the references.
Neither do I.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is this maybe looks like, I think, the head of what I presume is the protagonist a little bit. Otherwise, I don't really know. I don't even know if this thing is something from the show or not. I would assume so. They put a lot of detail into this for it to not be something from the show. But yeah.
Or it could be bad modeling.
Yeah. Then we have this guy. I need to go look at his name.
The hell is his beast mode?
Leo Linus, I think. Leo Linus Prime, I believe he's called. That's Rathalos, I believe, from I think Monster Hunter. I only really know Rathalos from Smash Bros. Ultimate's campaign.
I've never played Monster Hunter, so I don't know.
The only thing that I can tell you is, I'm pretty sure Rathalos is a bad guy, so why is he a Prime?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, the Fallen was a Prime once, so...
Yeah. And there's Nemesis Prime and such, but, this is not the color scheme of a Fallen Prime.
No.
I also think I had seen someone mention, and seeing these feet, I'm realizing as
shit,
well.
that's like Razor's feet from like the War for Cybertron mold.
I had seen someone mention that, and looking at the feet, I am seeing that, yeah, it is probably the Razor mold. Which is a kind of odd choice for a Prime, as well.
Yeah.
This guy's gonna be small next to some of the other Primes. Like, really small. This guy is supposed to be really big, and then we have this really small figure.
It's like the reverse of what Megatron was in the G1 show. It's like he's a big transformer that turns into a small gun.
Yeah. Then we have the Fallen! Hey, you were just talking about him!
What kind of Fallen is this?
So, this is based on, there was a comic company called Dreamwave. This is based on the appearance of the Fallen in their comic storyline.
Oh.
Yeah. He has a machete that can combine with, I think, like this spark merger thingy to make a scepter. I probably will never use this thing. I would very heavily just have him hold the machete and the Requiem blaster.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, he feels like a character that doesn't have fancy staff thing. He feels like the character that would go running around with a fucking machete to slash and to hack and slash people to bits. And if that's not, and if he isn't ripping them apart well enough with that, he Requiem blasters them right in the face.
Exactly.
He doesn't have this fancy scepter thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think this is actually a kind of plot device thing from Cyberverse that they're referencing. It'll probably literally never be used by me. I'm literally just gonna likely... Because I will likely grab this guy and give him the Requiem Blaster and the machete. The boss fight of the Doom guy. Megatronus! The Fallen! That would actually be kinda cool to see.
It would, yeah.
Doom guy fighting Megatronus with the Requiem Blaster and a machete coming right at him. Okay.
Yeah, but you know that Doom guy will win.
Yeah, he's fought demons much bigger than him before, so...
And he's also fought demons that were more heavily armed than he was.
Yeah. So, just because the Fallen's vastly bigger, it doesn't mean he's safe from the Doom guy.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Yeah. Then they're going to do a standard release of Rise of the Beasts, Optimus Prime. Why did I blank on that?
I don't know.
But, yeah, they're gonna do a standard release of this one where... I forget where it lines up in it, whether it ends up being in the wave that Jazz will be in, or in the next wave that Hatchet's in. Because Hatchet's wave is the next one that gets released. Okay, let's see. So yeah, so Optimus Prime will end up being in the next wave. Bone Crusher, Jazz, and some others are going to be part of the one after it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they kind of gave us 2 waves of information, and then they also kind of, And then it doesn't help that they didn't leave everyone to Space Bridge style reveals, so it's a little mishmashed. The Fallen is our first look at the Age of the Primes line that will replace Legacy. Actually, you want to know something really funny?
What?
So Hatchet is part of Wave 27 of Studio Series. You remember that Elita 1 from Transformers 1 that we had looked at?
What about it?
That's apparently part of Wave 30. That was revealed way too early. That was apparently revealed way too early.
Yeah.
The Bumblebee is part of the A-level assortment, so it's going to be available year-round. And then Sentinel would be Wave 28, so he was somewhat early too, but Elita was just revealed way too early to really hit home on, hey, look at this new film we made! Yeah. Then we have Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. And, yeah. Actually, I'm noticing something. Hang on. You see this? That's his roof. That's his roof. Part of the backpack that actually goes further beyond it is his shield. Do you remember the shield he has?
Yeah.
Look closely at the shape here. That's his shield.
Right.
So you have his roof, you have kind of the backpack here. If you look right about here, past where the roof of his truck is, you can see this almost circular thing. His shield is also attached back there at the moment instead of plugged into his arm for some reason.
That just adds more weight to the back, doesn't it?
Yeah, it also ends up being a good question of, I get they're trying to show off his big giant sword, but wouldn't having the shield as well complete the knight look?
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it would also take a little bit away from the backpack, because this part here is all you can see from the top of the backpack. This adds on to that visual backpack so much more. And while you can see more of the backpack down here, at least from the top you wouldn't see this much backpack if the shield wasn't plugged in back there. That seems like poor planning on whoever put it there.
It would.
Because I assume he's still going to have a decent-sized backpack. There's almost no way to make most of the truck parts, not fold up into a backpack with this design.
Yeah, that's true.
But it does... Yeah, his shield being there does not help it. It's not giving it any favors. It's really just accentuating how big the backpack is. Then we have Dark of the Moon Wheeljack.
What is with that sword thing that he's holding?
That... I'm not 100% certain what that is. I do wonder, actually, does the part he's holding potentially fold up and it ends up being one of the new cannons that Ironhide had in Dark of the Moon. That would be odd to pack it in with him.
It looks like one big piece.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it folds.
Yeah. But that was just something that was coming to mind with how big it was. He definitely looks like he comes with a lot of little accessory pieces that are probably a bunch of his different gadgets. So maybe it's just a gadget that isn't coming to mind for us.
Maybe.
Let's see. Can I end up? It doesn't tell me the thing there. Okay. I'm trying to see if I can find out what his, I'm trying to look and see what else he ends up having. Grapple glove is not that. I doubt that's the boomstick thing. Notes. I'm not seeing anything state what his inventions were. That's not helpful. New weapons. Yeah, it doesn't look like the heavy iron or the heavy iron 2.0. Yeah, I'm not certain what it is. It would be nice if they ended up doing a Dark of the Moon Ironhide, but Ironhide really didn't change appearance much.
No.
Across any of the films. It would be interesting if they released one where he was starting to rust to death. Because they've been doing Studio Series figures of the original film's deaths.
That's true.
Because that would at least give them reason to change up the mold a little bit. And then he could come with his weapons. And maybe they release his original film appearance figure at some point for those that didn't get it.
Yeah.
Because that would be probably the best way to get around it without literally just being like, yeah, here's Ironhide with extra weapons. If you already bought the original, too bad for you. Because if they really just ended up making that one, if they ended up literally making it just the change of, he has extra weapons now, that would be kind of dumb.
What?
Actually, speaking of which, I do have a question. How are they gonna make the Last Knight Optimus Prime? I'm pretty sure he shares pretty much the same model as, I'm pretty sure he shares pretty much the same model with Age of Extinction Optimus, so they kinda did that with... I think they kinda did that with 07 Optimus to Revenge of the Fallen Optimus, and Dark of the Moon Optimus had his trailer, so there's a bit more to that one. I guess they could if they really wanted to just re-release the 07 Ironhide Studio Series figure, but now with his new cannons instead of maybe his old ones. That would suck a little bit, because now I would want to grab that one so I could have his new cannons.
Yeah.
Anyway, I kind of got sidetracked. But it would definitely be interesting if, when they do a full reveal of the figure, they're probably going to say what this actually is supposed to be. But yeah, because these might be like the actual explosive things. Yeah. Though at Cybertronian scale, that was used
Maybe.
to detonate Starscream's head. But yeah. Then we have Scrapper. Much more color breakup. Actually looks nice. Yeah. Yeah. I am curious. So I saw it noted, apparently he has a ratchet joint in his torso. Presumably for holding the weight of being one of Devastator's feet.
Oh. Okay.
And being able to, like, tilt and such still. That's interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy, but yeah, Scrapper and Bone Crusher are pretty much the exact same height. It is literally just the extra engineering and yeah, it's pretty much just the extra engineering and maybe a bit of materials that were needed for him that bumped him up to the size group up. Then they're going to re-release Dark of the Moon Shockwave.
That's supposed to be a Cybertronian tank that he transforms into.
Yeah, I don't recall that Shockwave ever transformed in the film. But,
No, I don't think we ever did see him.
yeah, but I think it is supposed to be like a Cybertronian tank thing. I will say, I think he, and again, this is using the old stock images because he's getting re-released. We already have pictures of him. Same with the Rise of the Beasts Optimus and 86 Jazz. But I will say, I don't recall him quite being that purple in the film.
It's not that purple here.
That's true. That also comes down to, they honestly put a lot of they actually did a lot of like battle grime painting for this guy, and it fits very well. The live action films are probably the only films you can get away with that without it looking a little silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will be glad to see him getting re-released, because I was considering looking for him and then missed out on him. Then we have the War for Cybertron Games Skywarp.
Did he have like a launcher like that?
Well, I'm pretty sure in that game anyone can pick up any weapon, so technically. I don't recall if he ever started with it or anything like that, but they might be just trying to get through all the different weapons in the game so that you can mix and match them throughout everyone to whoever you want to have whichever weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is he the last one? Looks like he's the last one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't you say there was like 20 guys?
Yeah, there's 21 images in there.
Oh.
The 21st image being Devastator. And me talking about the thing with that. Never mind, I need to go pull up. I'm realizing one of the things I forgot to add in give me a moment while I go grab the literal thing I forgot to put in there, because I forgot to put an image of the prototype Devastator himself.
DJ. Expected quality content to be
Yeah, well, I was also kind of just running off of, for the most part, trying to figure out if I could, what things they would end up giving better photos for. Save as that. I need to put it in the Roundup. Let's put it as a Devastator. You know what? Devastator 2. Electric Voog. Even though no one's file name is not fine, I'll end up removing that part, and there we go. Alright, let's see. How long will it take for it to load in? Because now there we go. There we go. There's an image of full prototype Devastator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's also Bruticus beside him, too.
That's Menasor.
Or Minosaur. I don't know, there's fucking so many combiners on the Decepticon side. They all kind of blend in together.
Actually, I'm pretty sure most Decepticon combiners have an Autobot counterpart. It's just that a number of the Autobot counterparts aren't nearly as recognizable. Like the Protectobots. Or Computron. But yeah, so they have Menasor there for scale purposes. Of comparing what Legacy Menasor would look like compared to a Studio Series Devastator, who's a little taller. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think part of why this looks so rounded and so much like just a rectangle is literally to look somewhat like an arm when in combined mode. Like an upper arm. Yeah, okay, that explains the weird proportion for that. It is a little unfortunate that it kind of messes up his individual vehicle mode from looking great, but at least it has a purpose.
Yeah, but which do you want? Like a perfect individual figure, or a perfect like figure combined with little figures?
I would say it's a good balance of it's a decent enough compromise. Yeah, it's a decent enough compromise to have to deal with. Okay, it's a little imperfect. The vehicle's a little imperfect, but it does make the actual combiner really good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess it would be time then to figure out what the most looking forward to and least would be. I would say for most looking forward to, it would be a tie between a Megatronus and Hatchet. Actually, also to a lesser degree, Wheeljack.
Yeah, I guess mine would have to be Megatronus.
Yeah. Because honestly, it's a flaming tank.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a flaming
You can't get any better than that.
Yeah. I also saw something really interesting. Apparently, this mold has no pre-planned reuses built into it.
Really?
Apparently not. And I wonder if the same will be true for all of the primes. Which would explain why there were so many recolors recently.
It would.
Because if they're all going to be designed with no reuses in mind, then that means they're going to have to spend extra budget on making new molds for each of them. And individual ones. So that could explain that for everyone that ended up complaining about, why are there so many recolors recently? Well, do you want a good 13 or do you want a mediocre 13?
Exactly.
And then what would I least be looking forward to? What would I least be looking forward to? You know what? Oh, I know what it's gonna be. I'm gonna say, even though this looks like a pretty good representation of Rathalos, it being the Air Razor mold and a Prime just does not do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's the least look forward to of them. What about you?
Mine would have to be, Gears.
Gears?
No face. What the heck?
No face. 0 out of 10.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I was about to make a joke of no face, had no problems.
Technically has a face, actually. He has
that
eyes,
is
he
true.
has a mouth.
That is true. He has eyes and then he has a mouth that goes vertically.
Yeah, so don't accuse me for being a hypocrite, okay?
Admittedly, I was mainly making a joke.
That's my least favorite would... Oh, right, the Naruto ones.
These two?
Like, I've never watched enough of Naruto to actually, engage with the figures themselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of makes it hard for me to, look forward to it.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know whether or not I might grab them, because I would like to try and collect most of at least Hasbro's collaborative figures. The Rathalos one is more on Takara's side of things. But at the same time, I don't know these two at all. So I don't know if I want to necessarily grab these two. They're in an odd spot. At least for me. I will say, if we are getting this, then maybe we will get proper crankcase. Because they went in and fixed up the Bumblebee from Bumblebee. Maybe they'll go in and fix up Crankcase from Dark of the Moon.
Maybe.
Though I hope that they don't end up redoing everyone eventually. Just ones that actually need them going back and kind of fixing up some stuff. Because admittedly, there were a lot of people who ended up mentioning about how, since it was built off of concept art, the original Bumblebee bug figure from Studio Series for that film was so off from what the finalized design was that it kind of made sense that they wanted to go in and actually fix that up.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anything else to note? You gonna
Banana
berate?
bombs.
What?
Banana bombs.
Ah. I was about to end up asking, you gonna berate me again for not having gotten in the the prototype of Devastator and planning ahead? Oh well. Well, see everyone next time.
Banana bombs.